Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 8 Ball Sports. Yes, I'm still wearing the same clothes as the last video because I'm recording all 4 of these back to back to back to back. So, I am an Ohio State fan. Now, I did the Ohio State fans' reaction to the win over Wisconsin. I'm going to do the other 3 big conference games that happened today. I'm keeping these as unbiased as possible. That's what I try to do. I try to lean to one side. Now, of course, I'm always going to get hate from SEC fans because, well, Ohio State, SEC, it's not exactly a fun. I guess they aren't exactly nice to each other. But I'm going to go ahead and say this right here. I believe Alabama deserves to have that 4th playoff spot over Ohio State, and that's that. So if you're an Alabama fan coming here to hate on this video simply because I'm an Ohio State fan, I think you guys should get in over us. I think what Saban said earlier today about if they had lost by 31 points to an SEC team, they wouldn't even have this conversation. I agree. I don't think we deserve to be in. I believe Bama does deserve to get in over us. I'll have to see how the committee votes on Tuesday, but before anyone hates on me for that, that is that. It's already a minute. I try to keep these videos under 6 minutes. So I'm talking about I'm going to talk about the Auburn Georgia game. Now, I did watch this one. I watched this one and then watched the Ohio State game. I watched a little bit of the Oklahoma game and none of the Clemson games. So I'll get onto those purely off statistics. Those will be the next 2 videos. Be sure to go check those out after you watch this one. But Auburn loses to Georgia. And obviously, Kerryon Johnson was not 100%. And I said it in the pregame. Again, if you haven't watched those, you can look at my predictions. I said in the pregame, I felt like Georgia had a pretty good chance of winning this. And I said I wanted to pick Georgia. I picked every other winner in the conference championships game, including the UCF and the Boise State win. I picked both of them to win, and I picked everyone else to win except for Georgia. I picked Auburn to win, but I said I wanted to pick Georgia to win, but I just couldn't quite bring myself to do it because of how bad they lost to Auburn the first time. But they made major improvements. The defensive line and the offensive line look completely different. In the first game, excuse me, I still do have a little bit of a cough, but in the first game, the first time these 2 teams met, Auburn absolutely dominated, running the football. Stidham looked pretty good, some downfield throws. And today, just the downfield throws just weren't there. He just couldn't seem to connect with a receiver. Georgia's defense played a phenomenal game. Georgia's defense is scary. I think Georgia's defense, obviously I think they are going to be in. I don't care if Alabama or Ohio State gets in. I think Georgia could be the scariest defense in the playoff. You look at Clemson's defense. You look at, you look at Oklahoma's defense. You look at Georgia's defense and look at Ohio State or Alabama's defense. I think their defense could be the most scary one, the scariest one to face. If you are looking at who you're going to face in the playoffs. Right now, it's looking like it will probably be a Georgia-Oklahoma matchup, which I think is going to be real interesting. A Georgia defense that is just heating up. They just stopped a pretty good offense to only 7 points and really dominated that entire game. And then you look at Oklahoma, of course, have probably the Heisman winner. I don't think there's really any way he's not going to win it at this point. And a Oklahoma offense that is rolling, but a defense that is struggling. I think that would be a fun matchup. I think that matchup is going to happen, and that should be an interesting matchup to look at. But let's get back into the game. 7-0 Auburn, I want to say early, and then 7-0 Auburn early. Then Georgia comes back to make it 7-7, make it 10-7, and we head into halftime. I know I didn't talk specifically about any of the scores. I know Stidham threw a touchdown pass. I'm not actually positive how Georgia scored the first time. I actually was listening to the radio and then got out of my car, came back, and it was 7-7. Then Georgia kicks a field goal with the kicker who had a fantastic name. Wisconsin and Georgia's kickers, both fantastic names. Loved them both, but anyway, ignoring that. 10-7 at halftime. Wait, what's the final score of this game? Alexa, what's the score of the Auburn game?
Earlier today, the Auburn Tigers football team lost to Georgia, 28-7.
Did they not kick a field goal? I'm doubting everything I learned. Yes, they did. They kicked the field goal and then decided to go for 2 to make it a 21-7 game after they scored again. No. They kicked another field goal. It was 13-7. They scored. They went for 2 to make it 21-7, and then they ended up having that huge touchdown by their backup, Swift, I want to say is his last name, that it basically sealed the deal. And he looked very fast on that. So that was pretty much the summary of the game. I want to keep this video quick. The Ohio State one went a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and I'm not sure how much space I have on my iPad, so I need to get this video recorded. But congratulations to Georgia. You're kind of back in the relevancy. You've always had top recruiting classes these past couple years, and this year, Kirby Smart's able to lead you to the playoffs. Can they do anything in the playoffs? I believe they have not a very good chance, but I believe they have a realistic shot to win. I think if they can get past Oklahoma, then Oklahoma's the scariest offense in there. And I already said that I think Georgia's the scariest defense. That's not taking anything away from any of the other defenses. Obviously Alabama, but they've just been riddled with injuries. Oklahoma, that is kind of taking something away from Oklahoma's defense. They're not terrible, but obviously they're not the best defense by any means. Clemson's defense played a really good game tonight. I'll get into that in that recap video. But I still feel like, in my eyes, Georgia's defense will be the defense to beat. That'll be a fun matchup. I see that matchup happening. But for Auburn, 3 losses, so close. You beat 2 number 1s, but Georgia just made the right adjustments and were able to get the best of you the second time. You'll still be going to a pretty big bowl, but I say big bowl, a pretty hyped up bowl, but not the season you wanted. I think it was kind of a surprise season, especially with the offensive struggles early, especially against Clemson. But 3 losses, obviously not going to be able to make the playoffs. And I think you were hoping to have a better season. But this is also kind of a surprise. You can build on this. I don't know how old Jarrett Stidham is or your running backs. But this team is good. Their defense is really talented. And you think if you're an Auburn fan, you have a lot to look forward to. Georgia, I think you guys should be hyped that you make the playoff and hope that you guys can win. And it'll be a fun matchup to watch. So if you enjoyed this video, if you're a Georgia fan or whatever football team you support, college football team you support, please give the video a thumbs up. It really would mean a lot. Who are your Final Four? Leave that in the comment section down below. And subscribe to the channel for more college football videos as well as really any other sport. As I mentioned, I'll be doing the other 2. I'll do the Miami Clemson, the Oklahoma TCU game later. The Ohio State one's already up on the channel, so check those out, and I'll see you guys later.